There we go. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi,
Okay,
how are
here
you?
we are.
Namaste. How are you?
Chand Mera Dil. Let's do a nice little introduction. My name is Anushka Arora, and I'm going to be the host for this press conference. So, good morning, good evening, good welcome, good welcome. That's a new one that we're working with today. Wherever you are in the world, joining in this press conference today. So we're here for Chand Mera Dil. We're going to be talking about the music. We're of course talking to the wonderful and the incredibly talented musical duo Sachin and Jigar. So welcome aboard, guys. Welcome. How are you both?
We're great. Thank you for having us. It's lovely to be talking to people all around. This is a new
Yes,
one.
we're very excited to be talking to you, and especially about the music that is creating such wonderful emotions over the last few weeks. I mean, let's dive straight into this. First and foremost, I have to say, like, it's beautiful. It is really, really beautiful. And it's really hard to pick my favorite song from the album at the moment. But I might go, I think I'm toying between the title song and Etbar. But now that we've had the entire album, which has been released today, let's talk about it. How would you both describe the musical soul of Chand Mera Dil?
Fine. I think the names got it. Chand Mera Dil. It's coming straight from our hearts. I think every composer really looks for an album that's it's these are all love songs. Usually the demons are always hovering over your head. In the very first narration itself, the producer will ask for one item song or one, like a dance song or a party song. But it's a film which is so sensitive, and it's almost the journey of this couple, and just love, but beyond love.
Mm,
So it's like a dream for music composers to have an album that's got all love songs and all shades of love. So
mm.
yeah. So it's coming straight from the heart.
I mean, it is very emotionally loaded, even when you look at the visuals as well. When you listen to it and when you look at the visuals, it all really, really comes together. But how did Jan Mera Dil evolve from, the first composition draft towards the final version that we, got to hear?
It really brewed like how a love story between a couple would brew.
Okay.
It had its honeymoon phase.
Mhm.
It had its own what would you say, companionship, and
Yeah.
it had its own post when you know the other person, and when you know the good and the bad and everything about the other person, and then how you deal with that person and how you still make them your own, and you own them for a lifetime. I think these songs have evolved like that, truly like that. It's never been that these songs were made and given. I think these songs were made
Mm,
on day one, and they were getting made until they were getting delivered. So it's truly been a process of discovering the song for both of us.
mm,
And I think deep down, it's been absolutely emotional, because Karan sir also was deeply involved with this, and seeing his passion for love songs is
mm.
something that made us realize that, okay, this man who has such a huge career graph of making iconic love songs, how does he look at a love song, or how does he
Yeah.
look at a love story? So
Yeah.
his perspective really, really drove us. So big thanks to Karan sir, and I think this is one of the most special albums that we've done, regardless of the success or whatever.
Yeah.
These are songs that we will listen to uh, when we think that, okay, if we ever had to pick few songs that we really love, I think Chand Mera Dil would be one of those albums.
Yeah, I think so. I think it brings really a lot of emotion. But just talk to me about the conversations that you've had with Karan. I mean, you said that he was very involved. Was Vivek also involved equally as well? And is the first draft of Chan Mirada very different to what we have heard?
Okay, I'll tell you. I mean, these songs are what they are now, but our conversations were so crazy because Karan sir has like a plethora of stories. Like he
Mm.
has, I mean, he has worked with everybody. So he would come, and every time he would come, you could see, I think beyond a point in your career, also you look for that passion, for that drive in the maker's eyes, and that sort of drives everything. So he would always be so pumped and charged whenever he would come to the studio. He would make us laugh. He would tell us stories of him working with the legends and what all could go wrong. And it's funny because you see, when we're talking about Chand Mera Dil itself is such an iconic song, the old Chand Mera Dil. But you see that the team had the courage to say that no, it's a new boy, it's a new girl, not new, but it's a relatively fresh pair, and we're looking at original songs. And when the team has that courage, when the asking side is asking for original stuff, that's I think that for me and Jigar was the most stimulating part of the brief. And Vivek actually is another very if you when you see the film, you'll realize that even in the background score, we've been able to experiment a lot. There is a cappella version of the song. There is and the songs are so nicely woven inside the BGM. So Vivek also has a very musical ear. I think this is another, uh, you know, like we had that run in Stree 2. This is
Mm.
another, film where I feel that either all of us liked it or we did not like it. So,
Right.
I remember that we were working on another film's post production, and Karan sir had come and he had thrown this challenge at us, saying that, okay, Chand Mera Dil is the title of the film, and you guys have to come up with an original tune, something that sort of, will give you like a new identity to these lyrics because it's such an iconic song. And I
Mm.
remember me and Jigar driving back from the post production studio, working on another film, coming back to the studio to meet these guys, to meet Vivek and all. And I remember one of us humming, na 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 na, Chand
Wow.
Mera Dil. And that's it. I mean, I think songs come out thin air out of these small magic moments. And yeah, it's been a wonderful journey.
I think that's beautiful. It's really nice to understand how these songs come about because at the end of the day, we are either listening to it, in our cars, homes, wherever, and then, or on the big screen. But to actually understand the process of how
Yeah.
how this magic happens, it's so,
Yeah,
it's nice to understand
it,
that.
it's quite human, actually, so to say. It does feel like the jobs we do, the songs we make, we really don't know what they mean to some people at
Yeah.
whatever point in their life, but it's the process is really human. There's a lot of cancellation here between us
Yeah.
and Amitabh Bhai, who's written the lyrics. Even he's a wonderful singer. So between the three of us, musically, we cancel a lot. So
Yeah.
something that we actually eventually end up playing for the director and the producer is already cancelled a lot between us. So it's a simple process of what do you call canceling and evolving beyond certain pushing each other, basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So tell me, were the melodies created first, or did certain lyrics inspire compositions? Like how did this one work?
I think it went very cohesively. I think it went hand in hand. All the sessions I remember we did for this particular film were all together with the lyricist. So he would write something and we would compose those lines. For example, Khasiyat, there's
Mm.
this was written first. He had these three lines, Amitabh Bhai, and then we kind of hummed a tune and it all fell into place. So I think one part of the melody came, then he wrote the lyrics to that. Then he would continue those lyrics, and then the other part of the melody would come on that. So it's a very, very it's actually a album which has come out of pure jamming between the three of us. So uh, this one particular album, I don't think we can say क्या पहले आया था. I think twins है दोनों साथ में ही आए थे.
No, that's really, really great. Now, let's talk about the female version, which one of them has been done by Shreya Ghoshal. What made her the
Ah.
perfect voice for the female version of Chand Mera Dil?
My God, we had major disagreements on that, and uh, like I said, it's a very human process, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, it it is magical that you make something and people like it. It's that part of it will always be magical for us as makers, because uh, at the end of the day, we are making it for them. So, when Chand Mera title did find a place in people's heart, and with Fahim singing it so well and his fans actually really backing up, it was very crucial that the female version is not just another version.
Mm.
So Jigar kept saying that we should go with Shreya Ghoshal. We all know what a big legend she is. In my head, I kept thinking that, do we want to just use Shreya ji for the big legend she is, or does she
Yeah.
really suit the song? And these
Right.
kind of conversations are very, 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 very normal. It's a normal day in office for us, but it was his conviction, and I think in the dubbing, about 10 minutes in the dubbing, I think
We all
if there were any doubts, she just blew it out of the park. I think it's amazing, when we worked with Sonu Nigam for
Pardesi.
Pardesia, or when we work with Shreya Ghoshal. I think the experience is I mean, that's such a nice armor. I mean, arrow to have in your armor, because they just know how to blend in. I mean,
Of
what
course.
she has done to the song, and
Mm.
somebody like my family or my wife or my mother, now they are already saying that this is the version we want to listen to. So yeah, I
Yes.
mean, I think
Yeah, sometimes when we make songs, because we've been arrangers and composers, so it's funny that sometimes when we make a song, we kind of know that, okay, these are our options and these are the voices we can hear in our head. Even before AI came into picture, where you could actually try someone's voice and see, that was our job to picture somebody. Like how a
Yeah.
director would picture an actor,
Mm.
it was our job to picture a singer. And most of the time we would know, okay, this song will be most suited for this particular singer. Chand Mera Dil, surprisingly, we all never thought of a female version of that song. And one fine night, when there was a certain section in the film where there is requirement for a female to express,
Mm.
that's when actually it all just came together, and it really surprised us that why did we not think, because the song itself actually is calling for Shreya ji to sing it. It's right there. It's like आपकी कोई चीज गुम गई है आपके सामने है, but you don't see it. So
Right.
I think it's
Yeah.
first time in so many songs that we've done, that it came to us so last minute, and it came to us like a storm, that how can we not do this? And
Yeah.
now when we think, if this idea wouldn't come, it would have been so half baked all the while.
Yeah.
So it's really surprising for us that it came to us so late. And
Mm.
Shreya ji, being Shreya ji, we called her. We said that, listen, Didi, there's a song. And I actually told her that we should have called you 6 months back. But sorry, we have to do it. And she was so sweet. She said, okay, let's do it tomorrow.
Oh.
if you can spill the bean and tell them where it comes in the film.
Yeah, it comes pretty much.
It,
Actually, you want to say?
yeah, it comes in the climax of the film. So you
Climax.
have to see the whole film to hear Shreya ji's version.
Oh,
And
wow.
when it
Amazing.
comes, you'll feel like, okay, where was this all this? It's like
Right.
how it
Right.
came to us so late. In whole film, you don't realize you need it. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's so yeah. Sometimes I feel that, okay, thank God, eventually we had that idea, and the song has her voice on it, because for us,
Yeah.
she's the goddess, she's the legend.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, thank you for bringing Shreya ji's version for Chand Mera Dil. Absolutely love it. Now, I'm going to open up the floor for questions. I'm going to start with Cash from Sabras Radio. So, Cash, if you'd like to unmute and go for your question.
Hi there, and thanks,
Hi.
Anushka. Appreciate that. And Sachin-Jigar bhai, kem cho?
એકદમ મજામાં.
Yes,
તમે કેમ
તમે
છો?
કેમ છો?
Saras. I thought I'd say a bit of Gujarati, a bit of Hindi, a bit of English as well. 10 minutes કેમ કે મારો show radio પર હમણાં start થશે.
Absolutely.
Perfect,
All
So,
right.
perfect. Let's go for it.
yeah, first of all, congratulations. I'm looking forward to the movie. I and listening to the album certainly will play on Sabras Radio, and I love songs, and I've been following your journey for yonks for a long time.
Right.
But I think the inspiration part you've already mentioned it. Anushka's mentioned it as well. So to save time, this transition between Gujarati music, which you've done absolutely top of the pops on, and into the Hindi media music, how has that transition been?
Actually, it's been a reverse transition. I
Mm.
mean, we made it. I don't know. I don't know how we made it because when we were arranging and we were arrangers for Preetham sir, that's all we wanted to do. If you ask me, we would go back to that life in a blink of a second. We love Preetham sir. We loved working for him, and there's
हाँ
so much we learned under him.
जी
And somehow we got through. He's the one who actually pushed us and asked us to become composers. We somehow managed to find that hit song in Faltu
हाँ
and
Cyber.
then Saibo in Shorin City. Somehow I think at a point like that, I kept asking myself, and me and Jigar, we usually always compose first in Gujarati because it's your mother
हाँ
language. So in your head,
हाँ
you are
जी
singing the lyrics in Gujarati. And we kept asking each other that, that somewhere my journey started out singing, in the society Navratri program. He used to
हाँ जी
play
बराबर
dholak for the Mahila Mandal in his
हाँ
group.
हाँ
And it was literally payback, with
जी
that folk sort of runs in our veins, and we didn't want to be composers who blame other people for not doing enough work in Gujarati.
हम्म
And we felt like it's Gujaratis are not just share bazaar and and just business. So we thought that, and we've grown up listening to all kinds of songs in Gujarati.
जी
There,
जी
there's a happy song, there's a sad song, there's a song about the daughter, there's a song about the father. So we've heard all kinds of songs, and we thought that, that there was a 10-15 year drought there,
हम्म
wherein the makers stopped believing in the language. And I think bigger cause there, Cashby, is that
हम्म
these songs will help the language live across
जी
generations. So that's a little bit back to mother.
no amazing. Thank you very much, and of course wish you all the best. And yeah, I'm
Thank you.
looking forward to playing the music today.
Thank you.
All the
I
best.
hope
Thanks,
I hope all
Anushka.
your listeners enjoyed.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Cash.
We're all romantic people. Don't worry.
Thank you, Cash. Okay, moving on to Sonia. Sonia from Distash. Hi, Sonia. If you could just unmute yourself and go for your question.
Hi.
Hi, Sonia.
Hello. Hi, Anushka.
Hi.
So my question is, out of all the songs on the album, which one would you say is your favorite?
I think okay, let me cut the
Con-
all songs are my favorite and they're all my babies now. I think I really love how we've made Khasiyat. I think that song's really special because it's kind of a shairi turned into a song. I would say it's something that Amitabh Bhai would just talk. अरे देखती है बंद सुरों से आप बंद आंखों से आपकी सूरत and all some very shairana thoughts, and then just putting a club beat to it, and the both the voices, Jonita and Raghav. I think that's one of the most freshest ideas of this album, I believe. Of course, the commercial songs and what does well commercially is very different, but yes, Khasiyat is something that's very close to my heart.
Okay, and I have this is a hard one. What's one word to describe your album?
Ah,
Dil.
Dil.
Oh,
yeah.
that's sweet. Thank you, Sonia.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to Vera from Ishq magazine. Vera, you there?
Yes, I'm there. Hi.
Hi, Vera. How
Hi.
are you?
Yeah, I've been listening to the soundtracks for a while and I always felt they are very fresh and modern.
Uh-huh.
So I was wondering, I was really pleasantly surprised that there's not going to be a remix of Chand Mera Dil on this one. Was that a conscious decision, or and how do you keep up to date with the trends in the scene?
So two questions, I'll divide them. Of course, it was a very conscious decision because I think we've learned a part of our music listening to the old Chand Mera Dil. I think that is something we don't have the guts to touch, or I don't think there is any scope there for improvement or anything. It's a legendary song, so we don't have the option to play with that tune. between the two of us. So the only option we had was to make something. And so yes, that was a very, very conscious decision by us and by the makers. There was never a ask to remake that song. So all thanks to the producer and the director for that. And how do we keep up to date? I think we are both learners. We get new instruments, and although we play the same chords on those instruments, I think it inspires us to make something new every time. And we listen to a lot of music, and we are not stuck in defining our sound as such. We want to ever evolve, and even if we go wrong, at least we have made an attempt to undo ourselves from the last time what we did. So I think these are little things that come naturally to us, and if they are relevant to keep us updated, I think that's what we do.
Okay, thank
Brilliant.
you. Looking forward to see the film. The soundtrack sounds very nice.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks, Vera. Okay, let's move on to Hitakshi from Spice FM.
Hi.
Hi, કેમ છો
Hi.
again?
બસ
How
મજા.
are you?
તમે કેમ છો?
ફર્સ્ટ ઓફ ઓલ હું એકદમ મજામાં અને ફર્સ્ટ ઓફ ઓલ ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી મળી છે તમારી સાથે વાત કરવાની તો વેરી ફર્સ્ટ થિંગ દેટ લાડકી એન્ડ પાપા પગલી જેવા બે ગીતો બનાવવા માટે થેન્ક યુ વેરી મચ થેન્ક યુ વેરી વેરી મચ these are all two songs that will remain वो कालजयी कहते हैं ना कालजयी गाने फादर्स डे पे बजेंगे ही बजेंगे and any daughter whose wedding or any emotional scene around any daughter ladki will definitely be there. So thank you
Yes.
very much for making these songs. And my question to you is uh, uh, how do you check the pulse of it? You worked for regional cinema as well as Bollywood, right? Gujarati
Hmm.
cinema and all. How do you check the pulse of both the cinemas, and how do you create the music which you feel like, yeah, this is the right thing for this one?
Okay, so when we started out, we were quite artistic. We were quite in rejection of popularism. So if you see that when we made a melodies song, Saibo has barely any arrangement in it. And when we made Char Baj Gaye Lekin Party We Were, at that time, dance music was pretty much Punjabi music in Bollywood. So we were rebels to start out with. But, as we hit the road, we started doing shows, as we started meeting the eyes with the fans, that's when aapko dal aate ka bhav pata chalta hai, That's when you
I
know what
know.
is sometimes popularism, and I say this with a lot of respect, that popularism is one notch below the intellect. So you have to
Mm.
undo your knowledge. You have to shred, the load from your shoulders of how much you know, in
Oh my
order to
God,
find the.
that's lovely to
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Good.
It's humbling actually in a way. Sometimes you realize that, oh, something more simple is more acceptable. So it's okay. It's learning. But when it comes to regional, right?
Yeah.
This is a fun thing I realized, that if you go down south, right? If you go to Tamil Nadu, if you go to Kerala, down south, classical music is popular music. So you will have that kind of a thing. And when you come to Gujarat, for example, folk music
Yes.
is godlike there. So you have to, so region wise, and as we travel, we travel the world actually now, but as we travel smaller parts of India, we realize that we sit in the metros thinking that this is what is popular or this is what is trending, etc. But I think India lives in the folk, in the classical, in the more preliminary styles of music still, and which is why it is our job to, let's say, take folk and modernize it, and to present it to the youth in a way that they don't reject it. So yeah, so I think it's more about trying to read it, and I think it's not that difficult to read. Of course, it takes a while. Like I said, you start out as rebels, and you find a nice sweet balance.
That's a great answer. And one more question. You've worked with the legends, right? Pritam ji and A.R. Rahman. So, what learnings from both the icons is still there or it reflects in your creations?
What reflects in our creation is something I think Pritam sir will have to tell us, because that will be straight up us telling that, okay, we've, so that but I'll tell you what we've learned. We've learned that every composer has a different way to deal with a producer. And I think that's where the victory is. The producer will
Mm-hmm.
always come asking for his taste of music. So how do you add your spice and sugar to it and still make him feel, okay, I'm giving you what you want, and then staying relevant throughout your career with that style, um, and being truly honest to yourself. I think they read the audience in a very every composer reads the audience in a very different way, deals with the producer in a very different way, and then decides what tune goes where and how. So I think it is a very, very intimate and individual process that every composer goes through. And I think we've been fortunate enough to work for many composers. We've worked for Anu Malik ji, we've worked for Pritam sir,
Rajesh Roshan.
Rajesh Roshan ji we've worked for. So I think this is what we've learned, how much spice does a tune need for a particular producer to understand, because he's going to be your medium to put it out to the audience. You can't go bypass him. So this is a very strong learning that we've got from our mentors, and I think it only and only helps us to make songs that we want without disappointing what the producer wants.
Wow. I mean, that just sums up so many people in one answer. Thank you very much for the answers, and
Thank you.
best wishes for Chand Mera Dil. It
Thank you.
is
Thank you.
Hitachi from Saisam.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dachi. Okay, we're moving on to Ahmed from Chai with Ahmed in the UAE. Hi, Ahmed.
Hey, Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you guys?
Good.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. So my name is Ahmed. I have a show called Chai with Ahmed. I don't have my chai
Okay.
right now, unfortunately. So I connect Arabs to Bollywood. But first of all, I really have to thank you guys and appreciate Chand Mera Dil, the beautiful track. Every Arab over here is listening to it, and I'm so
Wow.
happy that they have done. So I'm gonna ask two very quick questions and a small request if you can sing for us like a beautiful
Sure.
one line of the song. Okay. So
Sure.
we'll go for the two questions first. So the first
Yes.
question is, if Chand Mera Dil was made in the 90s, who would sing it?
Ah,
Oh my God, it's a no-brainer. I mean, we have said this before, and Jigar also says it all the time. We miss having Kishore Kumar ji around us. I think it would be him without I mean without a doubt. But if it were 2000s, it would have been KK.
both the
Oh,
KK.
So both the KKs,
he,
yes.
We always thought, sorry, that
yeah.
we've always worked with KK when we were working at Pritam sir. So we've got opportunities to work with him, to dub him. But
Oh,
we never got a song good enough that we could, make. We've done songs with KK in past, but we always felt ऐसा एक गाना बनाते हैं ना जिसमें we can really mint KK and his beautiful voice. Finally, it came to us with Chand Mera Dil, and every day I hear that song and I feel, oh my God, And there is one thing I don't want to do is that I don't want to hear it even for myself by doing an AI, because there is so much injustice to what that man is. So
In
unfortunately.
yeah,
fact,
KK.
in fact, every time we go on stage, we do an ode to KK. We sing his songs, and we miss him, and God bless him. I mean,
Even when Fahim was singing, we were very honest with him to tell him that, listen, let's all keep KK in mind because it's a heartfelt KK song.
And he is such a legend, the late KK. He's always there with our souls. Now, the
Absolutely.
next question is, but you guys have to be very honest, huh? So, which song has changed your life financially and emotionally?
Fine. See, they are linked. Once we changed financially, we changed emotionally as well.
no, actually, to truly answer your question, I think Saibo has done it for us. Because what happens is, Ahmed, unfortunately for the industry, when you do well in a certain genre, the industry has a tendency to typecast you. So when Party Abhi Baki Hai became popular, we used to get phone calls say 4 बजा दिए 6 भी बजा दो 7 भी. I think the producer invests so much money that he's looking for that one hit song. So he'll ask you to follow the trend, and you end up repeating yourself. But that's why we're really thankful to Rajan DK for Shore in the City, because it helped us prove our versatility. And I think versatility is the true test that one needs to, pass at, and that helps you sustain time, because you can be successful with one song, but it's the more difficult part is to to be able to sustain, and for that you have to be versatile. So I think Saibo, in a big way. But very recently, if you ask me, Apna Bana Le, that's
Oh, yes.
yeah, that's one song.
But like how he said, there is one thing that all our listeners must know, that Saibo was actually made with no budget. How it changed us financially, I'll tell you, is because of one man called Javed Akhtar. He
Oh,
fought, he left all his work and he fought for the right of the musicians here in India. So,
Copyrights.
copyrights. So, finally, in the last 3 years, we started seeing some bit of royalty that we rightfully deserve. So, and then we realized that okay, Saibo was actually supposed to pay us this much money in royalties, but we were never getting them. So, I think financially, if something has changed our life, it's one man called Javed Akhtar. He's changed not only for us,
For
but for
the
all the musicians across India. He's really, really so. I don't know if this is relevant, but this only way how I can tell that what Javed Saab is doing for all of us is incredible, because it really, really backs us up.
yes, I mean, it was such a nice, beautiful song. It was new until that time. So thank you
Mm.
so very much. And I
Uh,
hope you can sing one line for us. And shukran in Arabic means thank you.
of course, दुबई में हमारे बहुत सारे गाने बने हैं, including अपना बना ले. So UAE is home.
Oh,
तू
that's so
सितारों भरा रात का आसमां,
चांद मेरा दिल,
चांद
चांद
मेरा
मेरा.
दिल.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so good. I love the stories that you are telling us. It's amazing. Okay, a few more questions. Rohini from FilmyBaat. Rohini, if you'd just like to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Sure, thank you, Anushka. Hi, Sachin. Hi, Jigar.
Hi.
And
Hi,
Hi,
Rohini.
Rohini.
congratulations on the music for Chand Mera Dil. I mean, I've listened
Thank
to
you.
it, but and honestly, I love the music. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
so my question to you guys is, Bollywood romance is so deeply tied to music, right? Sometimes we remember the song even before we remember the scene. So with Chand Mera Dil, was there a moment where you felt this melody could be the emotional memory of the film?
Oh, you're so on the money with that. I think just like I said, that we were working on another film, and that phrase, you know, these songs that we can now sit here and talk about in full glory. Actually, these, I don't think we can claim it, because they come out of nowhere, out of thin air. They come with in these small magic moments. Imagine Bombay traveling from Andheri to Santa Cruz back to our studio, and honking and traffic and heat and all kinds of things, and a magic moment in the head. Ta-re-ra-ra-ra. And when you see the film, you're you're a little bit of a genius yourself. The question you asked, because it is truly,
Thank you.
you when you see the film, you will know it, that it literally binds the whole film together. And you're right that the songs romantically, it's pretty much a tight scene there, but I think it's the characters that give you the freedom to explore. It's the characters, the backdrop, and that's the beauty of it. Somehow, though, if we were independent musicians, um, you wake up one day, and you make a song about what you're feeling.
Yeah.
That's not our game. Today we've got to be Chand Mera Dil. Tomorrow we've got to be another film. So it's the beauty of the script that also sort of. So I think me and Jigar, we don't have songs in stock. We don't have like ek party gana, ek love song, this that. I think it's the narration that gives you everything. And I clearly remember seeing it in Karan sir's eyes. I think cannot do without seeing that passion in the maker's eyes. So yes.
Thank you so, so much. So I have one more question. So the title track itself, it introduced us to Arav and Chandni's love story. So how did you approach creating a sound that belongs specifically to these two characters?
So, especially both these characters are honestly truly in love with each other in the whole film, and they don't understand what's going wrong between them. In fact, in one of the one of the songs, it also says that, okay, let's re-begin and let's not do the mistakes that we did earlier. But let's not leave each other. I can restart. That's how much in love these two are. But whether it's the ego, whether it's your personal perception, or whether it's something that comes out of your experience of dating somebody before this person came, somehow you are unable to manage those moments in your heart, and that's what really grows you apart from each other. So, but your heart knows that this is the person for me, and you want to go there, it doesn't happen, and you're confused. So, these kind of characters, um, they deserved a song that was not truly full bloom and that was not truly fully sad. It had to be romance with a lot of hope of happiness and hope of sadness saying that, okay, this is only a phase which is going to get me back to this person. It's a promise of a lifetime. Even if I go far away, I'm going to come back to you, and I'm going to come back to you stronger. So if you hear all the songs in a sequence, you will come to know that there is not one song that, even in Athbar, if you listen to it carefully, it's never going to tell you, hey, you destroyed me. It says that, hey, it's not that I don't love you, but I don't trust love anymore. It's such a beautiful thing to say. So I think it's these characters that they deserved this music, which is not fully saying, hey, my life is for you. It says that my life is for you. Are you going to be there for me? It always questions the lover. It always questions your feelings. So, um, I mean, I could go talking about this for days, but I think that's what it is.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to Mohit from Big Bollywood Buffs.
Thank you, Anushka. Hi, Sachin. Hi, Jigar. My name is
Hi,
Mohit. I'm
Mohit.
from London, and my media outlet is Big Bollywood Boss. We actually met last year in Jaipur at the IFA Awards.
Yes,
Of
yes.
course.
So,
How are you, Mohit?
congratulations. I'm good. How are you?
We're great. Yes.
Congratulations on the amazing response to the title track of Chand Mera Dil. Now, my question to you is, what made you think that Fahim Abdullah was the right choice or the perfect voice for the title track? Was it after or post the overwhelmingly positive response to Sanyara? And what does he bring emotionally or vocally to the song that actually fits into your musical world so well?
You know, we actually love Fahim for his indie song that really blew up on the scene. मैं आ कहूँ तो आ जाए, which is Ishq. It's called as Ishq. And I remember spending one whole night listening to that song in loop. So actually, for me, Fahim will always be that song. I mean, I think in a way, you remember Salman Khan for Maine Pyar Kiya, don't you? I mean, so in a way, Fahim will be that for me. And when it came to casting for Chand Mera Dil, it's a new boy. Uh, we could not have overburdened the song with a popular or a brand already, right? We wanted for the listener to feel that, oh, what's that? You know, or who's that? And the singer for the song is exactly what an actor for the film is. He's the person that will make the song travel from here to there. So that decision is damn crucial. But Fahim is extremely passionate, very hardworking. Also, he's not superficial. My complaint with the newer generation is that they don't listen enough. I mean, and they are brilliant in their own way. They are geniuses in their own way. But we learned everything by listening. So it was really refreshing to find a youngster who was just ready to listen. He would just go on and on listening. He would say, "Can you please do that one more time for me? Can you please play this one more time? Can I rehearse this once again?" And it's very endearing to see somebody wanting to give their best to, when we are sitting in the dubbing booths trying to record a singer, uh, our job is to give him his best chance to deliver. Our job is not to reject or to juice him out. Our process has to make him feel at home, to make him be able to deliver his best. In that process, me and Jigar knew that this is the voice for the song, and literally that transpired across. When Karan sir heard it the first time, he was absolutely blown. So yeah, so I think Fahim is a generational voice. You're going to hear him a lot. I've said this in already in couple of interviews, and I don't mind saying it again. You're going to hear a lot more of him because he's somebody who will fit lots of bills.
Yeah, that's great. So he's very eager to learn and he's very passionate, right? As
Of
a
course.
fairly new singer. Now, one of
And a
my
very
all-time
honest guy.
very honest, yeah. One of my all-time favorite songs that you have both composed is Sham Gulabi from the movie Should They See Romance. And so I wanted to request if you could please sing a couple of lines for us, the media, and for your fans as well.
Of course. शाम गुलाबी सहर गुलाबी पहर गुलाबी है गुलाबी ये शहर मैं भी गुलाबी तू है गुलाबी दिन भी गुलाबी है गुलाबी ये पहर
Thank you so much, and all the best for Chand Mera Dil and all
Thank
your
you.
future projects.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mohit.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mohit.
Thank
That was
you.
a great song to request. I
Yeah,
love that song. The
me too.
music was great. Moving over to Barul from Asian Star Radio. Barul, if you'd just like to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi,
Hi.
Yeah.
Parul.
Hi, Anushka. Thank you so much. And hi, Sachin and Jigar. This is Parul from Asian Star Radio. Yes, and my question is very small and simple. And you might have, because as we all know that you worked on numerous projects and you might be having some of your favorite list as well. So does this song comes under that list? The
Oh yeah,
Chandler
yeah.
there.
Totally, totally. Look, there'll be Saibo up there. There'll be Apna Bana Le up there. I like a song called Khushamdeed from Goga Gone
Yeah.
that perhaps plays in the UAE a lot more than it plays in India. But yeah, and I think Chand Mera Dil goes right up there because, look, this is a special album. Like Jiga said earlier, that there are some projects that you want to be part of. You don't care about the
Exactly.
success. Just when we made it, um, something beautiful came through, and it's really, I'm getting goosebumps as I say this to you. It's so pure, that process, when something's coming out of you like that. It's almost like giving birth to a child, and this is a special one, and it'll be in that list forever. Yes.
Yeah, even I can see that's, that happiness on your face while speaking,
Yeah.
while talking about that. Yeah, that's
Yes.
really great. Yeah, thank you so much and many, many congratulations to you, both of you, and everyone who has been involved in this project. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Barul.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and our final question is from Shiksha at Bolly Hi, Shiksha.
Hi, I'm Shiksha. I go by Bolly Girl. I'm a social media creator based in the US. Congratulations on the new album. It's so
Thank
exciting.
you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you. How have you been?
I'm good, thank you. So I wanted to ask you guys about the process of making an album. I know that you have already talked about it a little bit, but just for those of us who don't necessarily know what goes into it, you mentioned Karan said this, it's called Chand Mera Dil, and then the tune came to you, but do you read the script first? Do you take into account the actors when choosing your singers? What's the process like?
So we take a narration, we read the script, of course, that goes without saying. That's the food for your thought. But after that, I think we wait for the tunes to appear and show up. Once the tune shows up, then now we have to see whether we are going to wait for the next installment or we want to go with what we found. Um, I think it's a very, very organic process. And different people have different ways to, approach an album or a song. I think our process is now it has changed. It's evolved over a period of time. I think we only have to be patient, and as long as we have the patience, I'm sure that the tunes do show up at some point. And then there is once we have an idea, once we have a tune, once we have some lyrics to them, then comes the the part where the producer joins in, and he would have his say, because now from us it's going to a producer who's going to send it to the label. The label has to then decide if they can market that, if it's relevant, if it's going to become a part of the trends, or whatever those really logistical calls happen there. And then so every album goes through all of this. And what we can do is that while we deliver one tune, for it to go and come back to us from that whole loop, we have to wait for the rejection to happen and give them something else. So, and we always are pleasantly surprised when someone says, "Hey, that's good. That worked for everyone." So great. But yeah, we are always open to rejections. We are always open to ideas and always open to creating, because I think that is what we wake up for, to create music. And whether it comes from a rejection or a new opportunity, I think for us it is a new chance to make a new song. So that's how it is.
Do you try to match the singer's voice to the actor's, or is it more about which singer fits the song best?
It's a bit of both, actually. You know, there are some songs that you need experience for. So when you need that sort of a thing, then you go to the stalwarts, because they have done so much work that they know pretty much what is needed for a certain song. But for something like Chand Mera Dil, we wanted to experiment, and in fact, in the whole album, you'll see like there are so many new voices we have been able to bring through. Part of that is what we take pride in, because I feel like there's so much talent here in India. There are so many really great voices that need to find the limelight. So we try that. We try to find fresh voices, and in a way, it makes our songs also sound new. So it's a bit of both, yes.
Can you tell me what was the most technically challenging song to produce, whether it was vocally, compositionally, or emotionally?
On this album,
Yes.
I think it was not one particular song. It was challenging to have six love songs and all say a different story. Because how much can you say in a love song? You can either say I love you, or I hate you, or I no more love you, or I want to fall in love with you, right? But so the most challenging was to have six songs that say different shades of love. Not only lyrically, but even when you hear a certain tune minus the lyric, it had to express that same feeling. So it starts from it has a full range of a same person falling in love with a same person, right from there to falling out of love as they think, and then realizing that, hey, I was not out of love. I was still in love. So I think it was difficult to have that whole range and yet be different, and emotionally suit the characters as well. And but it was the most beautiful part of the journey, because we had to make sure that nowhere are we repeating our thoughts or our tunes or our you know ideas. So yeah, that was something that really challenged us. Like how when we were doing a film called ABCD, it was very challenging to do 14 tracks which were dancing tracks, but not all of them had a hip hop beat. So when something like this comes across, it's very important to tie it together, and I think that was what was challenging on this one.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you guys so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ikshad. Thank you so much to all the media that have asked such amazing questions, and you've told us such wonderful stories throughout this process. One final question for you is, what do you hope that the audience takes away from listening to this album, or going when they go and watch it in theaters this weekend?
Most I would say, not all, but most films end with happily ever after. And we all know that that's not the truth. It's, let's say, if you're talking about ever after, it goes through its highs and lows. Um, that is the real takeaway. How to sustain, that feeling of love, how love matures through those highs and lows, and how you um, sort of keep the affection above incidents. Yeah, that's the takeaway.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And in music, I think even when you watch the film, when you love the film, I think this music will stay with you. I hope for all your beautiful romantic moments, and I hope it sparks something for a lover somewhere.
I mean, it already has. So thank you so much for being here today and talking to us about it. Chand Mera Dil full album is out now. Go and listen to it. Music composed by Sachin and Jigar, a wonderful, wonderful musical duo that we have here to give us not just this, but loads, loads more in the future as well. And of course, Chand Mera Dil out in theaters this Friday. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Anushka.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.